Mr. Sean Williams. Sean Williams is an anti-corruption practitioner for over 10 years in the business. We'll take this break and be right back.
An bɔ ke wonyon we o.
Dibo nyon de ile, ka we ati ke nyon. Zan da ya yok ma lo nyon ti. Ya yo ta won yo le yo ko po ya o yo.
La nyon we e.
Dibo nyon de ile, si bo ya yok ma lo nyon ti.
Oh, nyon so asan di ti, men le dum la. We ole.
Anti-corruption agenda. Are we winning the war on corruption? Is the LCC a lost cause? What can be recommended to improve anti-corruption efforts in Liberia? We would like to take a look at the LCC's work in Liberia. Are they really doing what they were established for? With that issue and many other issues, we will now be joined by Sean Williams. Sean Williams is an anti-corruption practitioner who have been in this business for over 10 years. He will be giving us his expert opinion on the issue of corruption in Liberia. Let's go live to Mr. Williams and see whether we can start the conversation rolling. Mr. Williams, are you there? Are you there, Mr. Williams? Well, it seems to be that we lost Mr. Williams. But anyway, we're joining. There are so many cries about the issue of corruption in our country, and we want to see whether this government, like the past government, what have been the role of the government in trying to fight corruption. There's a case in point right now in the country. The former passport director, the American government has issued designation stopping he and his family, media family, from entering the United States of America. The issue of the head of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, he himself went at the legislature where his issue of his nationality was brought into question, but he still be maintained at the LCC. Some Liberians see that as a serious issue. So this is why we say whether the fight of corruption in Liberia is a genuine fight from government of the past coming to this CDC-led government. What effort they made in covering this menace in our society? Like we're saying, does that anti-graft institution, if they have the teeth to bite, does the man who is sitting at the helm of that institution, is it real? Would there be any seriousness in fighting the menace? Like other people have seen, said, no, this government is not just serious in fighting the corruption, so to speak. They are always say, no, the government is serious because government have been sending people to court. People went to court, like those involved in this issue of the central bank printing of money. They went to court and were given the day in court. The court cleared them. So there are people who say, no, we don't see that. We see some of the processes are just government doing what we call showmanship. They are not serious. They just want to put a show that people will say, yes, they are fighting corruption. So what is it that the government need to do to make sure that the issue is tackled and is nailed in the bud? There are others who want the government to give some prosecutorial power to the LACC. There are some who believe that there should be a special court that will prosecute corrupt officials. There are some who believe that there should be a timeline in fighting corruption in Liberia. Like in the past administration, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when she described corruption as public enemy number one. And at the end of the day, she said, no, corruption is now become a vampire in society. Let me go to Mr. Williams quickly. Mr. Williams, welcome to Media Dialogue. Are you getting me? Welcome to Media Dialogue. Shane Williams, welcome to Media Dialogue. It seems to be that we are finding it difficult to get to our guests. Are you getting us? You can use your earpiece and talk to us. Yeah, it seems to be that Mr. Williams that it's not getting. Are you getting on now? Hello, my brother. Whoa. So like we're saying, what can be? Yeah. Hello, William.
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Welcome to Media Dialogue. Yes. We are talking. Yeah. We are talking about the Liberia anti-corruption agenda. Are we winning the war on corruption? Are we winning the war? Mm.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Are we winning the war on corruption in Liberia?
I get it in first place.
You getting the question, right?
You get me in the first place. You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? You hear me? Now you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, thank you for me for the show. Since I was like, do some cleaning up my day for them. I'm not doing the show. I think first we need to appreciate some level. First for the foundation of the corruption in Liberia can be to for our constitution at 5C. Which was an opportunity for legislature and the executive to forbid laws that I mean of legislation or executive order within abuse power. Which to be in for other through the misuse of resources or an other acts of practice corruption. So we've been able to ratify and ethic key national or international instruments. So the first one is the UN and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. We made that part of our national law. So that is a considerable progress we've made. Another thing we've been able to do is that if you look back, we adopted a national anti-corruption strategy in June of 2006. That led to the establishment of the Bureau and all efforts they've information act. So there's been some made against corruption.
Yeah. So like you're saying, there's a need for some action. Let come to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission itself. Yeah. Shane, can you use your earpiece? Put on your earpiece, please.
Come in, you come in.
Yeah, you
Okay,
use
okay,
use
let's
your
find the
earpiece. Yeah. Please use your earpiece so we can get it. Yeah. Yeah. Like what we're saying, Shane. Let's look at the LSCC itself. Do they stand any chance in fighting the menace in our society? When you look at the head of that commission right now, there's so many criticism from so many quarters of our country. Can they win such a fight with someone with such character, like someone who lie about his nationality, sitting at the head of the LCC? I hope you got the question.
I'm sorry.
Like I was saying, is the LSCC a lost cause? Just be at one place. You don't have to be moving around. Okay, we'll take this break to be right back. Again, we sincerely apologize for the poor quality of the audio for our guests, but like we're asking him, is the LSCC a lost cause? That other people will believe that the LSCC seriously is a lost cause, because with the president of the LSCC, the issue of corruption is serious in our society. There are others who say we need to set a special court to prosecute people because uh, the Anti-Corruption Commission itself does not have that prosecutorial power. So when people are indicted and taken to court, it takes so long for adjudication of the cases. There are some who will just go and fire in for bomb, and there will be free men. They will be up there. So there's a need for a special court. So let's take this break and be right back.
Ambake unyon weo.
Di bo nyon jebe, ka we ati ke nyon. Zran da ya yok ma lo nyon tie. Ya yo ta won yo le yo kwa po ya o yo.
Na nyon we.
Di bo nyon jebe, si bo ya yok ma lo nyon tie.
Oh, nyon so asan di ti, men le dum la. We ole.
Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your country. It's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. My people, it's real, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Watch your brain, it's real. Coronavirus is real. Protect yourself. It's real. Don't open up listen. Brothers and sisters, tell the way. Let every nation worship in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, we bound you, destroy you in the name of Jesus. We stop you, rebuke you in the name of the Lord. We don't want anybody to say, anybody die. We don't want anybody to say, anybody die. Oh, it's real. It's real. Coronavirus is real. Oh.
Ambake unyon weo.
Di bo nyon jebe, ka we ati ke nyon. Zran da ya yok ma lo nyon tie. Ya yo ta won yo le yo kwa po ya o yo.
Na nyon we.
Di bo nyon jebe, si bo ya yok ma lo nyon tie.
Oh, nyon so asan di ti, men le dum la.
Welcome back to the program. I'm being joined by Calvin Gray. Okay, let me go back to Sean Williams before we can join our brother Calvin. Yeah, Sean, are you there, brother? Your internet is very poor, and we are not getting anything from you. I don't know what's the problem. Are you getting us now? Yeah. You get it or not? So we are getting, it's so difficult to get up. Shan, so let leave it at that. Let leave it at that. Let me cross over to Calvin Gray. Calvin Gray is live in studio. He's a journalist by profession. He's been following development in Liberia when it comes to the issue of corruption in our society. My brother, welcome to Media Dialogue.
Thank you so much, Calvin. It's a pleasure. And Mr. Calvin, my man Sandra David, it's a
Uh,
pleasure, being on the program today.
the issue of corruption has been a serious issue in our society. We have the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. We have other bodies that are fighting to end this menace in our society. Are we winning the fight?
Certainly, we actually working, uh, superintendent to ensure that anti-corruption can be one of the key issues that we can prioritize in our country. All right. When we're talking about anti-corruption, it's something that is broad that we need to understand from a broad perspective. All right. And the key things that we really need to look into, right? One of the things that we will like to look at is how can we work with motivated areas, when it comes to how can we deal with corruptions in our country, right? Working with areas, that will bring impact in our country, that we will see people working as leaders, all right? That's what we call motivated leaders, right?
Okay.
People who are at the task, all right? People who believe in themselves that what is going to work and what people believe as leader, all right, to them. With that, I think we can start a good leadership relative to anti-corruption. Because if you are a leader, you should follow an example that people will follow what you have done or what to go to motivate them to show that you are not playing any part or to show to those people that you are not part of any corruption, that people should believe in you. That is the good leadership that we talk about relative to anti-corruption.
Do we have people in Liberia with such character? You think?
Yeah, we have people with good character, good conduct. They are people, they are leaders, especially under the president. We are, like I said, it is something that our president is actually trying to fight when it comes to the corruption issue. There are many areas that are not for the president to also look at, all right? People who are not competent now, although the leadership is doing well, but other people who are not competent are trying to thwart the system, all right? Let you look at them and see reason of taking those people from there, and placing the right people there so that we can follow the right trend, all right? So that our leadership, our government can follow the right trajectory.
But
he's doing well. He's
yeah,
doing well.
but
If you are competent, well, we look at key areas. We look at priority areas. We look at the health, all right? We look at the health system, education. We look at other areas relative to development, developmental areas, the natural development of our country. With these areas, I think we can fight corruption, all right? Because if you look at the educational system, and let's assume that it is often said that teacher bribe, the bribe for grades, all right? Students go for, go after the teachers for the teacher to give them grade. Secondly, it's a corruption. It's a corruption by all right?
corruption in the education system.
In the education system, right? Now, if the teachers themselves are paid, are well paid, and if the teachers themselves are well paid, then let the teacher be the one. If the student come to them and say, "Oh, I don't have the time to study my lesson, but I will do something," let the teacher be the one to resist. Because that alone, if you allow that, immediately it's going to ridicule you. It will ridicule you, and your profession will be denounced, and people will not really value your profession. So in the educational system, we need to prioritize, anti-corruption as well. All right. Now we're looking at other areas that the health. All right. For example, now if you visit some of the hospitals here, private hospital, somebody will say that if you don't bribe the receptionist to see the doctor, you're not see the doctor. All right. So a system that is being built, let that system be a system that people will come. It's a generational stuff, right? It's something that is rotational. People come, people go. So when the system is built within our health system, we believe that corruption will to be minimized from these areas.
Yeah, so your problem here is corruption is not just about the top,
Second,
but it should be tackled from our schools, our hospitals,
hospitals,
the churches, the mosques. Those are places we need
those
to
are places,
tackle.
and also need to establish the accountability to our oversight system,
Mm.
transparency as well, decision making. Those are things that we need to understand. The decision we make today is also help. For example, Cabin Gray is in the system, right?
Mm.
If the Liberia Public Radio is a system that is being set up, and this system is a system that we've been working for age, for decades, and then I just came, they want to make the system come up.
Mm.
What value am I bringing to the system? What change am I bringing to the system that even if I've been gone today, if I should have been gone, the system will remain the same. You understand? So that system cannot be Calvin Grace system. That system cannot be a standard system. That system is going to be a system that people will follow. When they do that, we're going to work in order to ensure that government is going to be ready.
So your problem is the system.
It's a system.
There's no system.
So if we can work on system in our setting,
Mm.
then we can work on corruption. Anti-corruption can be a major problem to our system. Yeah,
So
we can work on that.
so what would be some recommendation for you as it relates to building our system?
Strengthening the accountability function.
Okay.
All right, it's one thing that we need to look at. We can strengthen our accountability function if we all have the same idea. All right. One of the things that we need to do here somewhere is civil society. Those are other people that we need to look at.
Mhm.
We look at civil society, their role to play
Mm.
in our society as well. All right. We look at accountability. Accountability means, for example, if I sign a deal with a logging company, to make like a public radio, a data station, online station that people will follow, I have to come back to my guy and report to my guy who is the head of this place. I said, man, this is what I have done. All right, that shows accountability. That transparency that we're talking about right there. All right, Mark, we went and we discussed and we came to so and so agreement, and this is why the company has. All right, and I report to Mark. But if I went to Mark, to the company and son, and take that money and put it in my pocket and come to Mark and lie to Mark and say, Mark, it's not working. The people are not ready yet. It means we are not ready for change. All right, we are not opting for change. Accountability is one of the main resources that we need to look at into our setting relative to anti-corruption. If we cannot build up the league, all right, to ensure that anti-corruption can be built, it can be monted, all right, it can be cemented. My brother, we will
Yeah.
say we will not pass on this street.
Yeah, but Kevin, there are people who believe that there's no political will to further this. For example, look at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. There's a chairman sitting there who have a problem with his nationality. Still, the president look at him and he's not thinking about doing anything about that.
Yeah,
And there's a serious public outcry over that.
the public have that view, right?
Hmm.
The public have.
Is that political will?
I don't want to jump into whether the president is not really, doing anything. But the president has their own mandate. All right, the president decides what to do and what not to do. So if the president knows for well that the head of the Anti-Corruption Commission is Doma.
Look, we're not saying being dumber, but he got kind of a problem.
But I'm just saying something now, right?
Mm.
If the president knows that the head of that institution has been carried around by certain standard
Mm.
and it is pushing the citizen into a port, all right? The president needs to understand that when the parents are disenchanted or the citizens are disenchanted, it hurts him. All right. So people who made him, or people who believe that this place should be protected, this place would need people with transparency. This place is it is a place of Liberians. It's a place of people who believe in itself. You have to believe in the work that you do. So the work you have to be judged by the work. So if we come and say we want for this person to be changed because the person character has been alive, then the person brings some change in the people and the people need. The person and the people need because man, you be ruled by the people. You be elected by the people. So the citizens themselves they have the right to decide what they want. But it is not in a right context.
So, in other words, the president will have to listen to the citizens.
Listen to the crowd.
Yeah, another issue that Liberians have been talking about is the issue of fast tracking, the issue of corruption. There are some who want a special code in this nation. Remember, during the unity party-led government, President Sally then said corruption was public enemy, and then later on she described it as vampire.
Okay.
And when President His Excellency Dr. George Manoya
took over, he said his government will fight corruption. There will be no free ride. And now there are people who believe that the government is trying our best in fighting the menace, but there should be more to that. What do you say?
We can a supporting event,
Mm.
all right? Even like a community participation, right? The president or our ex-president, many, let me say one thing to this, Samuel. If we say something today, if I came here and say, I want us to fight corruption, corruption should be our number one enemy, meaning I myself am free from corruption. All right. If I came to the public and said that if anybody been caught, if anybody is caught with corruption, it means that you will be penalized. And if this person is called Samuel, I don't want this to be on a friendship basis.
Okay.
If Samuel David is my brother or is my confidant within this system or in a setting, right? And if Samuel David was caught into corruption, what I need to do? Let Samuel David face the penalty. Samuel David is not about the law. It's not about the law. Not because Samuel David is relative. Is my relative or related to me, or I play Samuel David or Samuel David we graduated from the same school together. So I should have part of Samuel David. No, then that system will be messed up. But if Samuel David can follow the system, and if I can set an example, a precedent on Samuel David, for Samuel David to be fired or to be dismissed, so that other people that will come in to look at the work that I'm doing, it means that the system is strong. All right.
Okay.
So it should not be on a sentimental basis. It should not be.
Yeah, not what people believe the person. Because there are other people who yeah.
If I take the man from there, this will not work. But this man I will keep for a long time. The man is not working. Then we are not doing anything. Then the system will be in the messy system.
There are other who just accuse people with all evidence. So this man is corrupt. And they just want action to be taken against that person.
That's why we have our legal system. We investigate issues before we went into them. We can't just come out to just say things, but people are going into serious investigation. We have our LSCC going to investigate the stuff, all right? And this committee or these areas are working. These are the areas of the government, all right? They are the arms of the government that ridicule and regulate systems, and see how things is being built in the correct way. So in a nutshell, I think we can start to look into a system that will not be done. I think we can look into a system that people will follow. If somebody is corrupt today, as Samuel David as my brother, let me take Samuel David from there and bring the rightful person. It's not about me loving Samuel David. If Samuel David is being fired from the job, then Samuel David will not get a job no more. But we're building a system. So we should follow the right trajectory so that the people can live with our mandate, so that they can believe in what we do.
Okay, that's good. We need to build a system that people will follow. A nation where there's no system, the people will not go through the referral channel in doing things. Because of that, our nation need, especially our government, need to put into place those standards that people will meet. When there's standard in place, no need to worry. Anybody can get in that place and just walk free, and things will be better. We promise to bring back Sean Williams next week. He's a specialist when it comes to the issue of corruption. He will be in studio live during our next edition of the program. I just want to thank my brother, Alvin Gray, for coming in just to provide his own expert opinion when it comes to the issue of corruption. Mark Down, the manager, have been behind camera, making sure between twist and turn, making sure that this program is broadcast live to you. Again, want to say thank you for this edition of the program. We'll come back next week with Mr. Sean Williams, who is an anti-corruption specialist. He will be here next week to give us some facts, to give us some issues as it relates to our society when it comes to the issue of corruption. And he will be providing some recommendation to the government and for onward a movement of having a system in curbing corruption as society. Once again, my name is Samuel David. I am the presenter of this program. Many thanks for your viewing role. Thank you very much. Next time, join us for another edition of the program. Thank you. I'm out.
A life so beautifully lived deserves to be beautifully remembered. This is to announce the traditional wake-keeping and funeral service of the late Chief Crazy Sarto, former General Town Chief of Crazon Clan and Chief Elder of Crazon Chiefdom of the Bison Statutory District, Grand Gade County, Republic of Liberia, who died on January 27, 2020 at his daughter resident in Thinker Village, surrounded by his children and grandchildren. The body of the late Chief Crazy Sarto will be removed on December 15, 2020 at the Samuel Stryker Funeral Home in Sincor and will be taken to his daughter home in Thinkers Village for a night of wake-keeping. The body will then be taken to Duaji Town, Grand Gade County for 3 days of traditional wake-keeping. Funeral service will be on Saturday, December 19, 2020 at the Assembly of God Church in Duaji Town. The remains will be laid to rest at the family cemetery in Duaji Town. Repast follow at the family compound in Duaji Town. The traditional aspect of the late Chief Crazy Sarto life celebration will be the Kron artists performing lives making their present felt will be the Watsiato of Claude Romy and Blade Mary, Poimile Group of the Ivory Coast, Sumu Club of the Ivory Coast, Kron International Artists Blay Franco, Jefferson DK Nyangbe, Eric Duo, Chablo and Tour, Juice Sandy, Saba J, Festus D. Carr. Sea Levels and the gospel artist Ezekiel Wright. This announcement was signed by Nathaniel Crazy, son of the deceased.
Ambok e unyon we ou.
Dibo nyon de de, kan wa ti ke nyon da. Zan da ya yok ma lo nyon de. Ya yo ta won yo le yo ko po ya o yo.
La nyon we
Dibo nyon de de, si bo de ya yok ma lo nyon de.
Oh, nyon so asan di ti, men le dum la. We ole.